You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 268.1, the Central Indiana Scoreboard Show for June 4th, 2025.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Central Indiana sports fans. Today is June 4, 2025. It is a Wednesday. I'm your host, Greg Mengels, podcasting today from headquarters in Jeffersonville. Producer Susie is right there in the control room. I can see the beautiful producer Susie from my spot.
Hey, let's keep it professional.
Whew. Coming up, we're a day away from the Pacers and Thunder in the NBA Finals. The Pacers met with the media Tuesday, and we have sound. Plus, the Fever took on Washington in the Commissioner's Cup. And we had 5 local softball teams win regional championships on Tuesday. And the Baseball Semistates are set. Before we get to all of that, please go to our YouTube page and subscribe so you don't miss a single segment. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. It is easy to find. Also, we will continue to have Pacers coverage throughout the week with a couple of previews coming up today and tomorrow before Game 1. Plus, we just released our IU report with Grant Schaus, and we have And on Wednesday, we will have our Fever report with John Robertson and Michelle Garman. Plus, we have so many high school segments, you won't even believe it. Baseball scoreboard shows and previews, softball, track and field coming up this weekend, tennis, the state finals are this weekend, and golf gets started next week. We have so much. Just go find it. You're big, boys and girls. I don't need to hold your hand. We are a day away from the Indiana Pacers' first NBA Finals appearance in 25 years, and we could not be more excited. Game 1 of the Finals is scheduled for Thursday at 8:30 in Oklahoma City. Tyrese Haliburton said the excitement of the Finals and the caliber of their opponent has been keeping him up at night.
You know, this is the reason that we do this, and everybody's dreamed of playing in the Finals their whole life. So I'm really excited to be a part of this and a part of this with this organization, this group. And I couldn't sleep after game 6, but I think part of it was due to excitement, and part of it was due to now what are we preparing for? You know, so I'm really excited to be a part of it, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
The Oklahoma City Thunder enter the finals as huge favorites after going 68-14 in the regular season and 12-5 in the Western Conference playoffs. They're the 13th team in NBA history to win 80 games between the regular season and playoffs. They beat teams by an average of 13 points per game this season, the highest in NBA history, breaking the record held by the 1972 Lakers with Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, and Wilt Chamberlain.
This is the greatest stage. It's the greatest opportunity. It's also the greatest challenge, because we're going against an opponent that really, on metrics, has really changed the game, and so we got our work cut out for us.
That, of course, was Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle. The Pacers certainly earned their spot in the finals, going a franchise best and 2025 playoffs best, 12-4 through 16 games of the Eastern Conference playoffs. It took Myles Turner 10 years to get to this point. Now they might as well win it, right?
Might well.
Again, it's taken me 10 years myself just to get here, so just it's a little bittersweet, but at the same time, the fact that it's finally here, you're right. Taking the opportunity and just running with it. You never know when you're going to be back here. You never know the circumstances are going to be the same. And while the opportunity is here presenting itself, take full advantage of it.
The Pacers' flight getting into Oklahoma City was diverted to Tulsa because of the storms in the area. The flight landed in Tulsa, refueled, then got the Pacers to their destination a little late. The New York Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau, despite leading the team to its best 2 seasons in the last 25 years in 2024 and 25. He was also the coach of the year for the Knicks in 2021, made the playoffs in 4 of his 5 seasons despite taking over a mess of a program, and reached the Eastern Conference Finals this year for the first time since 2000. Good. I hope the Knicks continue to make really stupid decisions. In a high-scoring game, the Indiana Fever ran past the Washington Mystics 85-76 Tuesday at the Fieldhouse in beautiful downtown Indianapolis. It's the first win for the Fever without injured star Caitlin Clark, and it snapped a 3-game losing streak to get back within a game of 500. Sophie Cunningham was also out with an ankle injury. I said ankle injury. Obviously injured ankle. The Fever dominated the third quarter with 31 points after scoring just 38 in the first half. The Fever led 69-55 after 3 quarters, but the Mystics went on a 12-0 run to get within 2 points with 6 minutes left. It was 74-73 when Indiana went on a game-clinching 7-0 run on consecutive layups by Natasha Howard, Lexi Hall, and Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell's being a 3-point play that put the game away. Coach Stephanie White says her team is starting to figure out some things, and it was a much-needed win.
Yeah, it felt really good, and I think the way we did it, too. We had to show resilience in that fourth quarter. We had to find ways to come together and dig in and get stops and make plays. It was probably, outside of game 1, the most consistent we've played throughout the course of 40 minutes. So, I'm proud of this group. Sticking with it. It wasn't perfect, but we found a way to get it done.
Mitchell led the Fever with 23 points, and Hull scored all 14 of her points after halftime. The Fever hit a season-high 11 3-pointers, 4 by Mitchell, and 2 apiece from Hull and Demiris Dantas. And Ari McDonald made her Indiana debut and finished with 7 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals in 27 minutes.
Obviously, we can't control injuries, we can't control any of that, but I think we had 2 really good practices this week, and to be able to come out and get a win after that, I'm just proud of us for fighting, and also just really proud of Ari for coming out and providing just some incredible minutes, 27 minutes, and she was ready. She stayed ready, and we needed every single one of those, and just really proud of the group today.
That, of course, was Lexi Hull. Brittany Sykes and rookie Kiki Irafin scored 20 points apiece for the 3 and 5 Mystics. We will have our first ever Fever report with John Robertson and Michelle Garman either later today or sometimes Thursday. And we move to high school softball. Tuesday was the regional round, and Alexandria stunned reigning semi-state champion Lapel with an 18-3 blitzkrieg in Tuesday's regional at Lapel. The Tigers led 4-1 after 2 innings, then scored 9 times in the third for the program's first regional championship. Brinley Humphreys homered, drove in 5 runs, and held Lapel's powerful offense to 2 earned runs on 4 hits. Riley Thomas continues to sizzle. She went 3 for 3 with a double, a home run, scored 3 runs, and drove in 4. And Kinley Webb, one of the Central Indiana Sports Report's favorites, was 3 for 4 with a home run and scored 3 times. Here she is with Elwood Call Leader and Tipton Tribune sports editor, Michelle Garman.
I feel like since last year we had a little tough loss moment, but I feel like this year we came back. We were hungry for it. We wanted it. We know we wanted it more. And I feel like just everyone came together as a team. And we talked before the game and said, because we always pick before the game, like who we want to play for. But today we picked to play for ourselves because I think we all deserve it individually. And it just came together as a team, and it was awesome.
The second-ranked and 20-1 Tigers will face number 3 Andrean in Saturday's semi-state semifinal at Kokomo. Also in Class 2A, Rossville beat Rochester 9-2. Avery Layton struck out 12 and improved to 15-3 on the season. Mississinawa beat Dwenger 9-2 Tuesday at Homestead for the program's second regional championship and first since 2011. Leopard Inman hit a 3-run homer in the 5th, and Lila Greer threw a complete game 4-hitter for the 21-4 Indians. Mississinawa will play Western in the first round of Saturday's 3A Semi-State at Twin Lakes, after Lucy George, another Central Indiana Sports Report favorite, threw a 2-hit shutout for the reigning state champion Panthers in a 2-0 win over Yorktown. George also had an RBI in the win. In Class 4A, Greenfield Central advanced to the Center Grove Semi-State with a 23-3 win over Lawrence North. In the win, senior star Savannah Rial became the Cougars' all-time home run queen with her 26th career home run and her 15th this year. Leilani Forshee had a double, a home run, and drove in 5 runs for 19-7 Greenfield. In Class A, Clinton Prairie season ended with a 12-2 loss to number 1 Riverton Park. There are 2 regional championships left to be determined. They will be played Wednesday. One of those is locally. Noblesville goes to Harrison for a game that begins at 6. We'll preview Saturday's Semi-States Friday with Michelle Garman. Times and locations have been announced for Saturday's baseball single-game regionals. Locally, Oak Hill will host State Power Lafayette Central Catholic. Delta and Western will play at 11 a.m. at Logansport. It's Northfield versus Union City at 3 in Kokomo, followed by number 1 Lapel against Wapahani. Number 4 Clinton Prairie faces Riverton Park at 11 a.m. And Westfield goes to Harrison at 3 at Loeb Stadium in Lafayette. It's Greenfield Central versus North Central at 11 a.m. at Center Grove. Anderson Prep plays in its first regional game ever against Indianapolis Lutheran at Mooresville, followed by New Pal against Cascade at 3. And Shenandoah will battle Triton Central at 11 a.m. at Madison. And, of course, we'll preview all of Saturday's regionals on Friday with Michelle Garman. A few local news and notes. Carmel's Alex Shackle has been named the Max Prep 2024-25 National Athlete of the Year after winning a gold and a silver medal in the 2024 Olympics and winning 3 state championships in the Greyhounds' 39th consecutive state championship in February. Indiana Governor Mike Braun appointed 4 new members to the Indiana University Board of Trustees effective immediately. He also reappointed Quinn Buckner as the chair. Former ESPN broadcaster Stage Steele was one of the other appointees. Also attorneys James Bopp Jr. and Brian Eagle. Buckner has been the chair since 2021. Purdue golf head coach Andrew Sapp won medalist honors at the U.S. Senior Open qualifier and will compete in the U.S. Senior Open on June 26th through the 29th at Broadmoor Golf Club in Colorado. In national news, the 2025 Stanley Cup Final commences Wednesday, and it's the same as the 2024 Stanley Cup Final. The defending champion Florida Panthers will face off with the team they beat last year in 7 games, including 2-1 in Game 7. The Panthers can become the 3rd team this century to repeat as Cup champions. It's happened twice recently, the Lightning in 2020 and 21, and the Pittsburgh Penguins did it in 2016 and 17. Before the Penguins did it, it had been since 1998 since a team had done it. The Oilers, of course, are playing for Edmonton, but also the entire country of Canada. Edmonton is seeking its first cup in 35 years after winning it 5 times from 1984 through 1990, and the first for any Canadian team, believe it or not, since the Montreal Canadiens did it in 1993. Face-off is at 8 at Rogers Place in Edmonton and can be seen on TNT or the Max app. Game 2 is Friday before the series moves to South Beach for Game 3 Monday. After dropping a double fault-filled first set to fellow American Madison Keys in the quarterfinals of the French Open, Coco Golf beat Keys 6-4 in the second and 6-1 in the third to advance to Thursday's French Open semifinal, where she'll meet 329th ranked Lois Boisson a 22-year-old French woman who is in her first French Open. Boissat upset American Jessica Pegula in the round of 16, then beat Mira Andrea in straight sets in the quarterfinals. On Tuesday, top-seeded Arnya Sabalenka and 5-seed Iga Swiatek won in straight sets to set up Thursday's first semifinal matchup. On the men's side, reigning French champion Carlos Alcaraz beat American Tommy Paul in straight sets, and Italy's Lorenzo Musetti defeated American Francis Tiafoe in 4 sets to set up a matchup in the Open semifinals on Friday. The other 2 quarterfinals are underway in Paris. Top seed Jannik Sinner takes on Alexander Bublik, and 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic faces 3 seed Alexander Zverev. That one should be fantastic. In Major League Baseball, the Chicago Cubs now enjoy a 5-game lead atop the National League Central after beating the Nationals 8-3 in D.C., and with the Cardinals' 10-7 loss to the Royals. Michael Busch homered in consecutive days, going 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs for the 38-22 Cubs. The Brewers are now 6 games behind the Cubs after their 4-2 loss in Cincinnati on Tuesday. Tyler Stevenson went 2 for 4 and homered for the Reds. The Dodgers are now a game ahead of the Padres after beating East-leading New York in 10 innings 6-5. Philly is within a half game of the Mets after beating the Blue Jays 8-3. The Braves lost for the 9th time in their last 12 games, 8-3 at home against Arizona. Jazz Chisholm came off the injured list and made an immediate impact, homering in the Yankees' 3-2 win over Cleveland. Lance McCullers won his first game since 2022 with 6 strong innings in the Astros' 3-0 win over Paul Skeens and the Pirates. Houston is now even with Seattle atop the AL West. The Rockies beat the Marlins 3-2 Tuesday to end a streak of 22 consecutive series losses. And the Tigers are 6 games up on the AL Central despite an 8-1 loss to the White Sox in Chicago. Number 6 Texas and number 7 Texas Tech will play for the College Softball National Championship in a best-of-3 series beginning at 8 o'clock Wednesday. Game 2 is Thursday, and if necessary, Game 3 will be on Friday. All 3 games are at 8 o'clock, and all 3 games are on ESPN. The Super Regionals, College Baseball Sweet 16, begins Friday with 4 of the best-of-3 series openers. Those 4 series will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if necessary. Those series are Arizona and number 5 North Carolina, Miami at Louisville, number 9 Florida State at number 8 Oregon State, and number 13 Coastal Carolina, where I almost went and would have never met producer Susie, is at number 4 Auburn, where I have a lot of family connections. The series that will be played on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, if necessary, are upstart Murray State at Duke. The Racers upset number 10 Ole Miss with a 12-11 win in the championship game in Oxford. West Virginia's at number 6 LSU. Number 14 Tennessee is at number 3 Arkansas, and that should be a wild atmosphere in Fayetteville. And Cinderella UT San Antonio is at number 15 UCLA. Satellite UTSA knocked off home base UT Austin to advance to the Sweet 16. What a moment it had to be for those kids, who you know would much rather have been recruited by the Longhorns. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Thank you so much for listening. Please tell your friends and family and strangers and enemies and anyone you can about the Central Indiana Sports Report. Like if you see somebody wearing a Pacer shirt this week, just yell at them, "Hey, there's this really cool podcast. It's called Central Indiana Sports Report. Go check it out." Something like that, right, producer Susie?
That's right.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love you, Susie.